When it comes to linking your data, all that means, or to oversimplify, is that you want to be able to have one cell reference or link to another. And you can do that easy enough by just hitting the equals key on the keyboard and selecting any other cell throughout the entire workbook, even on another worksheet that's in the workbook. I'm going to go ahead and select this one and hit enter, and automatically it's linked, and any changes that I make in the cell that it's referencing, let me double click in this cell, make some changes, hit enter, automatically updates that cell so you can see that it's linked. Well, why would I want to go ahead and link cells or reference other cells? Well, for organizational purposes. For example, down at the bottom, I got the name of this worksheet, which is the third quarter, and then I have the third quarter broken up by months, and I want to be able to add up the cells for each employee for the entire third quarter. I don't want to display all that information on one worksheet. That's not really organized, but I have their cells for July, August, and September, and you'll notice that on each month here that I'm referencing, or it's in the same cell for March, B6, August, B6 for March, and July is B6 as well. So it makes it easier when I want to be able to go ahead and add those cells up for March and be able to link to them, because actually any function that's referencing another cell, if it's the simple sum function or average function, any function, once you make changes, it'll automatically update and reflect in the total here. Let me go ahead and type in equals sum because I want to be able to add up those cells in the other worksheets. Once I see it highlighted down below in the function list, just hit the tab key to pop it open, and then I can go ahead and start entering in, well, my first number or first reference cell. I'm going to go ahead and show you the long way, and then I'll show you the shortcut. One of the long ways is to simply type it in, and I'll show you why I want to type it in. That first cell, B6, is going to be on the July worksheet, so I need to type in the name of that worksheet, July, and then type in the name of the cell. But if I type it in all together, then Excel's not going to be able to figure out which is the name of the worksheet and which is the name of the cell that we're referencing on that worksheet. So instead, after you type in the name of the worksheet, hold down the Shift key and hit the exclamation key on the keyboard. That separates the name of the worksheet from the name of the cell that's going to be referenced on that worksheet. You can use lowercase or uppercase when it comes to the columns. There's B6. I can use lowercase or uppercase B6. It doesn't matter. And then when I'm done referencing that cell, hit comma so I can go to number 2. And again, it's going to be the name of the next worksheet, which is August, exclamation point B6, comma, the name of the last worksheet, September, exclamation point B6, and then hit enter when I'm done, and there we go. Clicking that cell, you can see the function and what cells it's referencing. So any changes that I make on that other worksheet or any of those worksheets, let me go ahead and exaggerate. Let me type in a negative number here, hit enter, go back to the third quarter. Well, I exaggerate to make my point. It's a negative number here. Let me go ahead and hit undo. Now for the shortcut. So first of all, we see how we're linking to other cells, or referencing other cells and other worksheets. It's also known as 3D cell referencing because it's not referencing the same cells in the same worksheet. So we're doing some 3D referencing. Now for the shortcut. This shortcut only works if those cells on the other worksheet for each employee is referring to the same cell. For example, again, if I go back to July and I want to be able to use this shortcut for Mr. Humphreys to add up his cells or his numbers located on these 3 worksheets, notice that his number here is in cell B7, and then it's the same cell, B7, and the same cell B7 on this last worksheet. So the shortcut will only work if it's referencing the same cell on each worksheet. To do that, just go ahead and use the same function, equals sum, hit the tab key after you have it highlighted down below, and then let's go ahead and down below click on July. That's the start of our function. We're going to be pulling that cell in from July. Hold down the Shift key, hit the last worksheet of the range here that you want to be referencing, and then of those 3 worksheets, what is the same cell that you want to be able to pull in on each worksheet? Well, it's going to be B7. And notice up here in the formula bar, you can see that it's going to be July through September, and it's going to be B7. That's why I had it set up the way I did, because if I go ahead and I try to click on another worksheet and say, okay, for August it's going to be over here, for September it's going to be over here, it's not going to work on this shortcut. It has to be the same cell on each worksheet. Hit enter and boom, there you go. Now if you go back to this cell and you look up in the formula bar, it's July through September. If you come down here and you click and you drag August out of there, July through September, what's between July and September? Nothing. So even though it still says back on the third quarter, and you notice the numbers change, July through September means that anything in between those two tabs. Because I pulled August out, August is no longer part of the formula. So you can use the shortcut, but if you start messing with these worksheet tabs down below, it's not forgiving at all. So you have to keep it just the way you see it when you go ahead and use that shortcut. All your tabs lined up together in order for this formula to be true, July through September, including what's between July and September down below. And then, of course, to quickly fill in the rest of these cells here, just go ahead, hover over the lower right-hand corner, and you see the black cross. Go ahead and click and drag that down, as we learned in Excel Level 1, the autofill handle, or even shorter than that, just double-click really fast. And it automatically fills in the rest of the cells, or it copies that formula and pastes it down in those other cells. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.